Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel and blog. I'm Jenny Hall. Thanks for joining me for another card making tutorial. Today I have a card that has a couple of different techniques and a couple of different stamp sets. I'm going to use embossing paste and embossing mask to create a card front that is completely embossed. I have my silicone mat and I'm using some of the palette knives that are from Stampin' Up with 3 different knives in a package. I'm going to work as quickly as I can with the embossing paste, as using this much paste that might get a little bit dry and crusty before I'm able to use it. So I'm going to mix it really well with the different inks. I'm using 2 different ink colors to get a darker gray, a mid-tone gray, and then of course the white is going to not be colored at all. My thought is that I'm going to make an ombre looking brick wall on the front of the card. So I'm starting out with smoky slate on the left, basic gray on the right, and of course uncolored embossing paste on the bottom. I'm not afraid to get my fingers dirty and getting all of that embossing paste in order not to waste it. I'm scraping it back off of the knife and onto my fingers. Starting in the middle area of the design, I'm bringing the mid-tone in, and this is going to help me to create a design line or a horizontal line of where I'm going to have the ombre look start. It doesn't exactly come out the way that I'm envisioning things, but sometimes when we have a design idea, the fun part is seeing if it works or if it doesn't work. So as I'm taking this white embossing powder and I'm bringing it down into that little mask, then as I bring the palette knife back up from the bottom, I see that I'm getting some streaks of gray. That did not occur to me while I was in the middle of working on the white area, so I took a little bit of a different turn and came up with a bit of a different design. This card front did not come out of what I had envisioned in my mind. It doesn't mean that it's not going to be a great design or a great card front for another project. In order to preserve that white area, as you can see, I just put my finger into the embossing paste jar and brought some white paste over and put it in the area where it should be white. Pulling the mask away, I make sure to pull it straight up. I have 4 different shades of Wood Textures Designer Series paper that I'm going to emboss some flowers. I'll use Versamark sticky ink and use Flower Shop stamp set to stamp a flower and emboss it with white embossing powder. This is going to give me 8 different flowers, and once I have a nice variety of flowers, I'll be able to choose exactly which ones to place in my design. I would like to give you a tip and a word of caution. When heat embossing Designer Series paper, be very sparing with the heat gun. You might be able to see that some of the white embossing looks a little bit yellow, and that's because I scorched my paper. I'm adhering some of these little flowers down to the card front, and at this point I'm not really liking the result of the brick wall look, but I'm going with what I had envisioned anyways, and I really like the look of these wood flowers. The wood flowers were the main focus that I wanted to try to get on this project. and there's just a creepy crawly feeling in my mind that I'm not liking that background with the bricks. So I'm pushing on and creating a sentiment with Label Me Pretty and the Pretty Label Punch. I'm using Calypso Coral because coral works nicely with the wood tones. It's more of a natural color, and this is going to be a kind of a sentiment icon that is going to go on top of the flower icon design. We have more of the mini sequin trim, and as I advised you guys before, we're going to see a lot of this trim because it's fantastic. I hope you've had a chance to work with it. I'm really enjoying it. It almost works up like ribbon. It's wonderful. So in order to hold this ribbon in place, or the sequins in place, I'm just using liquid glue, and it will also hold the icon in front of the flowers. I have more of those mini sequins that I'm placing around the card and trying really hard to help out this design. However, as you're going to see in just a few minutes, I just could not stand it. I asked my husband repeatedly what did he think of this design, and he was okay with it. He was really happy with the way it looked. But there was just something that was gnawing at me. So I continued making the inside of the card, and I have all these nice lovely flowers left over. You really have to see the flowers in person to appreciate how pretty that wood paper turns out when making it as a flower. There are the 4 different wood tones, and the flower design is not overtaken by the wood. The wood is an accent to the flower's look, and that's what I like the best about this portion. So I couldn't handle it anymore, and as you guys are probably laughing with me, I got another card base out, and I did not do any embossing paste. Instead, I grabbed my aqua painter and some early espresso and did a couple of flicks with the paintbrush, and this is making me so much happier. It's amazing how whenever one little simple design element doesn't make anybody happy, then that crafter just needs to keep on until they get it right. So this is the final result of this card, and this little brick wall, we're going to see where it's going to end up on another project. So stay tuned. I think it's going to be about a week, and you'll see that card base turn up on a wonderful project. I'm determined to make that card base work out well with another project. Thank you all for joining me today. All of the products that I've used today are available in my online store. You can visit my store by going to jennystampsup.com for all of your Stampin' Up! Purchases. Thanks for joining me today. I'll see you in the next video.
Hi, my name is Trip. Thanks for watching the video. See you next time.